All right, welcome to Module 5, another lecture in the books with the multidimensional array. And it looks like we've already segued into jagged arrays. So let's go ahead and do that, shall we? One second. Gotta find the share screen button. There. Okay. So we're looking at jagged arrays. Jagged arrays, we're looking at you. Jagged arrays are the oldest arrays known to man. And you might be thinking, but an array is an array is an array, right? Right. Kinda, right? Arrays in and of itself is a little different than your normal data type, right? Because arrays or your normal data structure, because arrays act a certain way in certain situations. All right. So the situation we're going to talk about today is, for the most part, when we have jagged arrays. And like I said, jagged arrays are what arrays looked like and how they operated before Java got their hands on it, C# got their hands on it. But a Java array is an array whose elements are arrays. Now, that sounds a lot like a multidimensional array, right? It sounds a lot like a multidimensional array. But it isn't. But it ain't. I'm going to start coining that phrase. But it ain't. It ain't a multidimensional array. As a matter of fact, they don't work the same. Now, within the context of computer science, yes, they are a multidimensional array. But within the context of C#, multidimensional arrays have a multidimensionality that the language inherently understands. A jagged array implies that a language does not understand how to treat a multidimensional array. In today's day and age of AI, R, and things like that, our languages are becoming more smart in understanding what that data structure, that data framework looks like. So all the elements within a jagged array are reference types and are initialized to null. The following examples show you how to declare. And before we get to those examples, a jagged array is sometimes called an array of arrays. All right, cool. So what are we looking at here? Well, a jagged array's elements must be initialized. Each of the elements is itself an array, so it's multidimensional in nature. It's also possible to use initializers to fill the array. And when you use initializers, you don't need the array size. Oh, nice. When you initialize an array, you don't have to define the size. What's initialization? I will pause. I've said this multiple times throughout the past couple of modules, more than I can count. But when I initialize a variable or an array, what am I doing? If you've paused the video to figure that out and you've got the right answer, let's say it at the same time. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you said it by yourself. Either way, when you initialize an array or a variable, what you're actually doing is you're declaring the variable and assigning a value to it at the same time. Or for some of us who are more on the side of ease of use of words, simultaneously. What does that look like? Well, for all intents and purposes, jagged arrays are really the arrays that we like, because like I said in the last module or the last lecture, it's really a pain in the butt to use that if you don't understand what that is doing. What I need to do is I need to declare the jagged array as 2 braces, and you just keep adding more and more braces every time you want to declare a jagged array. In the event that I want to do what you see right here, I can't do it this way at all. I cannot do it this way at all. What I would need to do to declare this jagged array is I would need to treat the array like it's an object. Now, you might be thinking, what in the hell are you talking about? But basically what I want to do is I want to open up my braces so that I can write horizontally what I need to happen. And for each new array that sits within the position or the ordinal position of the parent array, I need to say new string array. See the red line went away? And now IntelliSense is telling me what to write. Don't boss me around, but thank you. I appreciate your help. You're doing it again. You're bossing me around. But yes, IntelliSense is right in this respect. String array or new string array, and we're done. Now the program understands, oh, wait a second, there's string arrays within this cars array, and I need to do something about that. Like I said in the last lecture, we don't use arrays within arrays for a multiplicity of reasons, one of which is I would not be able to get this Toyota out without traversing the array within the array to get it. And that is not efficient. So what's more efficient is that I have an array of objects where that object has key value pairs. We talked about key value pairs last lecture. Key value pairs where I have a key I can use to get the value that I want, kind of like a variable. I'm using the name of the variable as a key to get the value that I want out of the storage location. I'm using the name of the array as a key with the indexer. The indexer is the key, right? 0, 1, 2, 3. to get the value out of the ordinal position that that indexer represents. You can replace those numbers, those ordinal positions. That's a logical way of looking at it. An illogical way of looking at it would be, I can replace all of those 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with real words: chicken, dog, cat, rabbit. And when I said array.rabbit or array indexed on the name rabbit, I should get the value back out of that. We call those objects dictionaries. Dictionaries are, for all intents and purposes, the lowest common denominator on creating objects which have key value pairs of specific specificity. I didn't want to say that word twice, but yes. Either way, now that I have this cars, this isn't going to work right. What's going to happen is it's going to try to print the array, and you're going to see array.object, array.object, array.object inside of our debugger, but we're going to do it anyway just to show you. If it prints at all. Yeah, there you go. System.string array, system.string array, system.string array. Yeah, array.object, array.object, array.object. There you go. So if I want to print what's in the array, I need to iterate over that again. So in this case, what I would need to do is another for each loop. And I wouldn't say char and chars, I would say properties. What was that? In char. Normally we say props, all right? The word properties is very important, but in this case, I'm going to say props, all right? Or prop for short. Prop is short for properties. I also am not a fan of new when I know what the data type is going to be. I'm going to say that again. I, as a 20-year vet of the force, do not like the word var at all. I do not want my process. I don't want my application to determine what the data type needs to be, unless I just don't have the energy or the time, or I just don't know what I'm going to get. Then I'll say var. It's great for when you're getting data from a data set, right? From another system, an external system. But var works well when you don't know what you're getting, but we know what we're getting. That's what we're getting. So we're going to say string array char. And I also know what I'm getting in the prop. I'm going to pause here and ask, you guys know what data type I'm getting back as a property? All right, so if you pause the video, let's say the word together. The data type of the variable prop will be a string. Precisely. It'll be a string. Why? Because the string array is the array within the array, and then what's in that array is a string, and we want this down here. And then we want it to print the property. So we're going to say that, and we're going to say prop, and we're going to say, that's it. That's what we're going to say. And then we're going to run it. Boom. And let's see what happens. I printed all the values sequentially. I didn't get an index out of index error, and everything was great in the world. And that's it. Now, obviously, I wouldn't do it this way. If I wanted to keep these values within the same context of the Chevy object, I wouldn't do a jagged array for this. But this is great for when you want data that's not really structural and it needs to be dumped somewhere. This is great. Either way, as I said in all my videos, if you haven't liked and subscribed, please, for the love of all that is holy, do that for me. It would be so great. I'm making videos at this cyclic rate. It's a lot of work, and anything you guys can do to help out really does help. So like and subscribe, and I have more lectures on the way. So good luck. Have fun. Ciao.